Watch me ride.
Hey everybody. So, I want to try and do a little bit of right against a big wrong that happened to someone, but it's also to tell kind of an interesting story. Well, it is interesting to me anyway. So, as a YouTuber, there's been a few things that, you know, have been like quintessential jokes with me, or something that's particularly relevant, and then you get an image that circulates through social media, and then, you know, lots of people see it, and it gets sent to me a lot. A perfect example of this would be the crow with a knife in its mouth. I have been sent that hundreds of times. I mean it, it's ridiculous. Now what normally happens is there's a spate of these postings, you know, it goes around Facebook, does the rounds. I get bombarded with these messages all day long of this picture from different people, all meaning well, thinking it's funny, but they just don't realise everyone else is doing the same thing. And then it'll go quiet, and then it'll kick off again a few weeks later, and it will continue like that for a while. And stuff that you think had ended like, you know, a year ago will come back again. So about a year ago I saw this image, and I am using the image, but by this point, Jesus Christ, I don't think it's made much difference. And I know the guy, and I've said to him I'm going to make a video and try and help get his name out there. And I've got to use that image in the thumbnail to grab people's attention because they've seen it. Basically, that image started getting shared around, and because I started out the Metalworks, people started sending it to me a lot, and I mean a lot. And then things kind of went quiet for a while, and it started kicking off again, and I got, like, the other day I got 2 or 3 in one morning. I woke up, just looked at my phone and was like, oh god, no, not this again. So I posted and was like, hey, I've seen this image, okay, you don't need to keep sending it to me. And that was that. Until on my Instagram, Downshift83 mentioned, he said, well, I think I know the guy who did that. And then linked to this guy on Instagram, who does make stuff, but it's not him. But as it turns out, it is made by a guy called Tigger Welding. And what happened was he took that picture, it's his photograph of his own work, which he watermarked, and basically someone stole it and used it for a meme, or just to share around. And that's kind of one of the really horrible things about social media, is that the way you can just steal people's images. You know, when I was working for Loomies, and I was putting up pictures of bikes all the time, the amount of places I saw those pictures since, I mean, normally it would really piss me off, because it'd be like, hang on a minute, that's my work, but, you know, I was being paid at the time by the company to do those. I still own the rights to the images, but I was being paid at the time, so whatever, it's not, you know. But it's not on the scale of the millions of shares that image has had without any credit to the guy who made it. I just feel so bad, and that's where I want to try and right the wrong. Just to let you know, if you're watching this, if you saw that image and you liked his work, his name is Tigger Welding. He's got a website, I think it's called tiggerwelding.com. The piston things, it's a series of art that he does called piston heads. And they're awesome, they're fantastic. And yes, I do like them, but people keep sending me the image, and this is something I'll get onto eventually. You know, it's Facebook and Instagram. You know, copyright infringement doesn't really exist on them, on those platforms, unless it's got music in that's trackable. If it's someone's image, you're screwed. And to say his image got used so much at this point is kind of, it doesn't even matter. It's out there so much, you're posted with so many things by so many people. It kind of, he hasn't lost the rights to it, but he couldn't possibly hope to get the rights, you know, try and claim rights on all of the things. So it's kind of a lost image. That's why I thought, you know, a lot of you probably have seen that image and probably like it. You'd be interested to see more of his work. Well, go and have a look at his work. I'll put a link in the description to his website. As I say, the guy himself commented on my post saying about how it had been ripped, and I was like, oh my god, it's you! I was really like a little bit starstruck for a second to, you know, meet the person who made this awesome thing. Well, not meet them, but, you know, see their Instagram account, and I would see more of their work. And now I said I'd talk about it in a video and try and send some people his way to try and help make up for that really unfortunate case of having your picture nicked and it going viral. Such a shame. Now this is where I have another sort of subject I want to talk about, but it is related. You see, a lot of people sent me that image saying, Spicy, you should make something like this. If I did that, which is such a unique thing, it would be completely copying and stealing the guy's style. This is the problem, you see. You can't be truly original anymore. It just doesn't happen. There's too much creativity with people. So everything is influenced. Now, yeah, I could look at that image and use it as a sort of, you know, it might spur my mind to do things, but to directly, you know, if I got a piston and carved a face in it like that and did something like he did there, I'd just be copying his style, and I wouldn't be really very happy with that. You you know, you can take inspiration from, but don't take, you know, the actual essence of the thing that they're making themselves. That's the reason I don't actively go out looking for other people's work like what I do. Simply because I don't want to be influenced by it, really. I don't want to see something and go, oh, that's cool. I want to develop my own line. Yeah, when you develop your own sort of, you know, creative line, the way that you don't control the way it goes, you just get feelings. I want to do this, I want to do that. You know, I was doing a lot of sprocket type clocks before Christmas. Now I'm making more sculpture types, you know, like welded together parts clocks. You know, you go through creative phases. And yes, I just think it's absolutely fine to take, you know, a bit of an idea from something, but to completely rip it off, no. But I guarantee you there are people out there who have seen his work and are completely copying it. So thanks to the people who did send it to me. I know you meant it well when you sent it to me as an inspirational piece, as it were. But if you send me something, I'm more likely to not make something like that because I've now seen it done by someone else. I suppose thanks to Downshift for he threw the question of who did it into the air, and that was, well, let's say two steps of connections through him and someone else, and then it was straight to the guy who made the thing, and I was able to sort of message with him. And I said I'd make this video, as I say. So I hope you didn't mind that I used the image in this video, dude, but well, you know, you've been ripped so bad at this point, what difference is it going to do? And this is actually trying to help you, so I'm sure he's cool with it. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, and if you see that guy's image being posted on Facebook or anywhere, just put in the comments, this work is by, you know, tiggerwelding.com. Find his website and have a look. It's really interesting to see the stuff he does. It's very cool. You know, in the same way that if I'm watching some random video and I notice there's a piece of someone's footage being used in it without their permission, I'll comment that person and say that's the work of such and such and such. Very often it's, you know, it's big channels and stuff, but it's just yeah, it annoys me. Oh shit, I just ended this at Tesco's, didn't I? Oh, shut up, just ignore the fact I'm here, bye.
Why are you running? Why are you running?